video is brought to you by my patrons and by viewers like you. Greetings, groovy people. Welcome to Blue Dragon Art. This is an art-related channel where I discuss different types of independent projects, sometimes my own, sometimes projects that I am a part of, and sometimes things that just interest me that are done by indie artists. Sometimes I will talk about commercial works occasionally, or things that are like officially published, you know, like I've talked about some graphic novels on this channel before. This week, I'm going to be talking about Comic Fury Zine. Angelic Beings is our winter zine. I do a tour. If you aren't familiar, you guys, with what I'm doing in this video, if you're new to the channel, I like to do a little tour of this free independent zine that's shared under a Creative Commons licensing agreement, where it, you know, we can't be selling it. You can distribute it in its entirety only, and you have to give attribution to the artist. So that's all included in this zine, and it's free for you to read, and it's free for you to share. This one is the safe for work one, so it is kind of a general audience rating. That doesn't mean it's for kids. There's some minimal violence in it, I don't want to say cartoon violence, but you know, illustrated violence that's not like overly gory. But yeah, it's just rated for general audiences essentially. We just released it on Friday the 21st, so I'm going to take you on a tour. I have the link here in the forums. If you go to the forums, I'll have the link down in the description too, you guys. But if you go to the community art trades and all that, you click here. You can get it on that page, or I have it on the front page for easy access, since most of y'all, if you go there, you're probably going to be accessing it for the first time if you haven't been on Comic Fury for a while. Sorry if I sound tired. We just had a potluck yesterday, and then I had to deal with like a flat tire today. Actually, I haven't taken it yet, but my partner and I had to get the donut on. I gotta go do that, and I'm still picking up from the party. People offered to help, but you know, I'm a control freak sometimes, so it's like, nah, just go home. You came here to have fun. So I'm just a little tired from that. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I'm not enthusiastic about this zine. I fucking think this zine is smashing. I think everybody hit it out of the ballpark. I think everyone who contributed with either art or comics or characters, they just did a really good job. Not patting myself on the back. I have a character in here, but yeah, anyway, so this is the zine's cover. We have a cover art contest to decide who's going to be on the cover, and that's decided by the Comic Fury community. So if you are an active member of the community, when we have the poll set up, you can vote on which cover you like the most, or at least which cover you think would be the best for the front. And then there's like different kind of prizes for that, like not monetary prizes, but like we got some fan art that's going to be coming out to people, featured artist, advertisement inside the zine, so on and so forth. So we try to make the incentive, you know, interesting for the artists who are volunteering their work. And you guys, we always get amazing covers. We get such good fucking covers. And I'll be showing you a tour. We're just going to go through this interactive document. It is a printable zine. You can use Imposify if you like. I'm going to have the link for both the zine and Imposify down in the description if you would like to print this off for yourself. You cannot sell it. You can print off copies and give it to people if you want, but you can't sell it and make money off of it, okay? This is all in good faith. It's all volunteer work, and it's not about the money. It's about the art and the craft, and it's primarily about promoting artists and trying to help readers find independent artists that, you know, they're interested in, or that they might want to check out their works for. So it's the goal of this zine is to try to connect readers to artists on Comic Fury specifically. So just kind of like an overview, especially since not everyone has probably seen me do these tours before. I do have like a playlist if you want to check them out. Some of the zines are not safe for work though, you guys, so warning, there's nudity and all kinds of shit in some of the not safe for work ones, because we try to limit the censorship in the not safe for work zine, but this one is the general audience zine, as I mentioned earlier. We have a table of contents. This is interactive. You can also, click on any of these to get to places. Like if you want to go to Comic Fury, we link that. And we do have some of the URLs written out in case you have a print version of this, and we have like a QR code at the end of the zine, which we'll see at the end of the tour. This is where we discuss the cover artists. So we had a lot of fantastic people. We had 3 really good covers for this year, for this zine, I should say. We had for the full year too, but yeah, you can click on them. If you like their art, you can click on their avatar and you'll be taken to their comics, their profile page. I've got this open twice. So yeah, so you can check out, maybe see if there's a comic that, if you like their art, you can check out and see if there's a comic that you like. We have the comics divided up into 3 different story types this time. My brain is dead, y'all. Divine Interventions is the first part. So we've got Destiny, Not So Literal, Feather, and Imaginary Friend. So I'm just gonna, you can click this if you want to get to like a specific one. I'm gonna go back up. So literal here. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of scroll through this and I'm gonna try to not spoil the ending. I will, when I edit this, put like a black block or something over the very last page so that nothing gets spoiled. You gotta read it, okay? And we also had some standalone art this year. We're going to start incorporating that into the zine. We try to improve the zine every year and kind of take feedback from the people of the community, because this is supposed to be reflective of, you know, their craft. So yeah, we started including like some really cool art. This is the advertisement. This is for Double Letters Aren't Lucky. Spello Dello's the one who won the contest, so you can go and you can check out the comic they want to advertise. This is a scroll comic. And then we have their interview here. If you'd like to read the interview, I encourage you to click on the document and check it out. The next section is Fury's Angels. This is like the action-packed section. So we got, I kicked the beep out of Angels. And then we got a Holy Debt. So yeah, you can click down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna scroll down so you can read it. I'm sorry, I keep leaving the mouse over the pages. And then the last section is Revelation. So this is more of like the stories with kind of a twist. We got Sunday and the Nightmare. When we need a little extra space, we like to, we do space filler to make sure that everything is printable, to make sure as much as possible that there are, all the pages are divided by forward so that you can print them off. So for the last few zines, we decided to pay it forward to Comic Fury Web Hosting to have like a little advertisement for their Patreon. Comic Fury is one of the, to me, best web hosting sites out there, just because of the freedom and because the guy who owns the site is not motivated by monetization. Like, he has like a drive, almost like PBS or like an indie station does, where he talks about the Patreon page. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. And this is like a single dude like who's paying for all of the webcomic hosting, because right now this website is free for you to start a comic on. You do not have to pay for it. There's no strings attached, and he really wants to keep it free for as much as he possibly can. Very, very community minded, dare I say socialist minded. I don't know if he's a socialist or not, you guys, but yeah, I really like him. He seems to put his money where his mouth is. He tries to make it so that, you know, anyone can have access to web hosting, and it's not about owning your shit. And it's not about censoring you, aside from like a few, they do censor some things. Oh, CP is not allowed for obvious reasons. You will get your shit taken down if you're doing something like that, for obvious reasons. So yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to say that this is just really, he's really, I don't know, we want to like support them, because none of this would be possible without like Comic Fury. I've hosted there since I think 2015. But yeah, this isn't like a Comic Fury advertisement. I'm just gonna. But yeah, see, this is why I say it's like for general audiences, because we do allow like nudity that's not like, you know, kind of like Austin Powers covering up the nudity and shit like that. You know, because if you can't handle that, I'm sorry. And then at the end of all the comics, we give attribution. We say who it's by. We link to their comic. So the standalone art was done by Busty LaRue. Or you could go to Dear World. We do have, I just now, it just dawned on me that I should have been labeling which of these comics are safe for work and not safe for work. They have varying degrees. Like Dear World is very mild, in why it's not safe for work, but it's not I want to make sure that people are warned about that. So if we go here, you can see that it's, instead of the red nudity and language, it's the yellow, which means that it's not like heavy on the nudity and language, but there's a little bit of it here and there. But we just I just started putting not safe for work for the comics that are not safe for work, because we only really can fit 9 comics, or, I mean, this was standalone images. It's not a comic, but some comics are 2 pages long, so we consider that a contributor. Since we only really can fit 9 in the zine without making the document uncomfortable to print, which I've done before, and I've made it way too big, you guys, way too big. So we have like bonus comics that are going to be online only on our website, and I'll click on that website in just a minute. But yeah, we have at the moment unlimited numbers of online comics, online only, that we take from people. The way it ended up this year, it's just I went ahead and volunteered because I've been in the zine a couple times. I've been in there a couple times, so I was like, I don't need to be in the zine proper. I'm also one of the editors, and I put the document together. We like to have the team kind of step back and let the other people be the highlight of the zine. We oftentimes, we'll have our shit be online only if new people are in, or if there's other people who are participating. So mine's gonna be, you're gonna see that online once it posts. I worked on it on this channel for one of my videos, but we advertise it in the zine so that people can check it out. And be aware of the website. Sometimes we have a character spread, like a community spotlight. It's like a splash page that has all like a bunch of characters that people submit. But due to the intense labor, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it does take a lot of energy and time to make a splash page background and figure out where to put everyone's characters. So we have to have 5 characters if we're going to go through the effort of making the background, because otherwise it's like 3 characters and it feels kind of empty, if that makes sense. So when we don't have 5 or more characters that are submitted, then we instead will do like a character spotlight. And the kind of trade-off for the splash page is like, instead of having a splash page, which is a little more labor intensive, but people really like the splash pages, to kind of make up for not doing a splash page, we give folks the opportunity to include a biography, which we will not do if there's a splash page. So trying to weigh things out and make it a little bit more even so that people don't feel like ripped off for like not getting a splash page. You know what I'm saying? So this time we had a character spotlight, and again, we always give credit to people, so you can click on their comics, and you can check out their comics. Yeah. So credited and biography, so you can read a little bit more about the character and what comic they're from. Yeah, it's just kind of a cool way to show off some of the character designs of people on Comic Fury. And then we have another advertisement, because we want to make sure that people are aware of how many zines we've had. This is the same zine, it just has 2 covers because we didn't have a cover art contest. I started this document so that you can print it off and flip it, kind of like, I think that like Marvel used to do stuff like that. They'll do like a special thing where like you read from one side, and then when you hit the middle, you got to flip it over and read from the other. That's kind of what we're going to be doing with this zine. But we've been doing this since like 2020, so we have like a lot of zines now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, now 12 zines, counting this one that we're looking at. So I have the QR code here so that you can go to Comic Fury Zine, check it out if it's printed. Otherwise, if you're in the document, you can just click here and you're taken to Comic Fury Zine, our website. And then we like to give artists some forewarning on what the theme of the following or the next 2 zines theme is going to be, so that people can prepare. I know now from experience there's absolutely no way to give enough forewarning to people that they won't come in and say, I had no idea that this was a thing. That's always going to happen because, you know, people are busy and they're not always either checking out the previous zine or they're not always on the forum. Sometimes you just pop in and you see, oh my god, I've only got like 5 days to do the zine. However, that said, we put the submission schedule in the zine here. As you can see, we put it on our main website. In fact, I'm going to click and show y'all. If you are artist and you are interested and you host a comic and it doesn't have to be active, but you have to host a comic on Comic Fury. And please don't like just create a comic and then abandon it just so that you can get into the zine. I don't know that anyone's doing that, but I'm just kind of like trying to get into the forefront of that. But at any rate, we have the application schedule on the website also, so that you can always come here if you're reading the comic because it's going to be uploading and you're interested in participating. You can click this, or you can get to our back issues. All those comics we were advertising, you can still read. You can still print off. Some of the documents may be a little wonky with Imposify, but if you know how your printer works, you should be able to print it off. The thing about Imposify is that I had some documents that I kind of fucked up on when I exported them, so I got to figure those out and figure out which ones aren't really working. But yeah, you can read them. If you so desired, you could also read our mission statement. We babbled about why we did this. Oh, and we always give credit to Timashade, who is the artist. They're the ones she's the one who designed our logo, the Comic Fury Zine logo, back when we started. That was a contest too. She won. But yeah, you can see what's coming up, and we have like the application period, but before the application period even begins, one of us will go in there and open a thread so that, you know, to announce that the zine season is coming up and that we can work communally together on our submissions, just to kind of start getting people ready in case you are one of those folks that you haven't heard of Comic Fury Zine and you haven't been around the forum and you're just now popping in. We are doing our best to get eyes on it so that people have enough time to do some work. You know, we want to be fair to the artists too, because I know that we're all fucking busy, so that's why we have all of these advertisements and forewarning about when the schedule is. And we've actually kind of leveled off exactly when it is for each zine that we're doing the application period. It's been the same like period for quite a while now, just to kind of regulate things and just kind of make it for those who are regulars. They'll kind of have an idea of when the season is coming up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the submission schedule, and then you can click this stuff. Go to Comic Fury again, and then we get to the back cover. This was the second place, the runner-up. Yeah, this was Yeast Gnome. The front cover was Spellodello, the featured artist. But then Yeast Gnome did the background, or the back cover. I like how they incorporated the alligator. I always like it when people incorporate the alligator. You know, I do want to say there's a little bit of green here, so I wonder if that was... I know it's not, but I want to say that's like a very artistic incorporation of the alligator from Comic Fury. But yeah, so that's the zine. I hope you guys check it out. It's really, I love doing this because we try to pick kind of broad topics, and even so, like, everybody has like a different interpretation or a different way that they want to interpret that theme. And I love seeing the artwork that results in people taking a theme and kind of interpreting it either to their comic for like a one-shot or maybe a standalone thing. I mean, some of these might be standalones. A lot of them actually, I think a lot of them are like standalone or from people's comics, but some of them are standalone. I wonder if this one is a standalone because I didn't see this character. Maybe this character's name is Mateo. I wonder if Mateo is in Double Letters Aren't Lucky. I don't know. I need to check out the comic, don't I? But yeah, I just think this is really a great way for people. What I should say, I don't know if I always talk about this, but I'm feeling a little sentimental. One of the reasons why we do this zine also is because it's, in my opinion, relatively important, or I think it's an important skill for people to be able to tell a short story. So I think that's one of the things that is really valuable about doing like zine submissions like this, because it really challenges people to, like me, people like me who are fucking wordy as hell. It really challenges us. We don't have infinite space to tell our story. So we really need to like figure out how can we be impactful and tell a quick story in this limited amount of pages. The other thing that I like about it is I discovered this as the zine, continued, and I made my own short stories for it, is that it gives me, and I'm assuming other people, a little special short comic for people who read your comic to enjoy. So like you have this accomplishment. You've done this short story and now you've got a completed little story, a completed little tale. Similar to like the yonkomas that are like kind of small in the back of a lot of manga. But yeah, to me it's like fun because then when I have like a chapter break and I'm working, I now have a little fun story that people can get to know a little bit more about the comic or a little bit more about the characters, and it's all self-contained. Like it's referencing obviously the comics, but the stories themselves, you can read the comics and it's referencing your main comic, but like the goal is to make a little short story that people can enjoy without having read the comic. I don't know if I'm always successful at that myself, but that's kind of one of the other goals for this project. And the reason why that's important is because we want to make sure that the stories are enjoyable for the readers too, so that it's not like we do put on our advertising in the thread that you really don't fill your comic with inside jokes that only your readers are going to relate to, because we want to make sure that people who aren't already readers can enjoy the comic as well. We aren't like super forceful about that, but it is something that we tell people to keep in mind. Don't just fill it with like gags and in jokes and stuff like that, so that people who are reading don't have any clue what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's a valuable skill, I feel, for artists to learn, that imparts, it makes it more enjoyable for people who aren't familiar with somebody's work. Again, it's kind of like a delicate balance of trying to like figure out how to guide people to make stories that will draw readers in, and not make them feel excluded, and really make them feel like, hey, I get what's going on here and I like their storytelling, so now I'm gonna go check out their comic. To me, it's like I want everyone to be enjoying the process, and that's not always possible, but we on the team really do our best to make the experience as good as possible for everyone, as much as we can. We take suggestions from readers, and we take suggestions from the comicers and artists themselves and writers who participate. Thus far, we've had a little bit of feedback here and there, but for the most part, we've had people pretty much enjoying it, and I'm just hoping that from here on out, we keep getting better and better and accommodating people more and more, and just making it a welcoming comic for like readers and for the artists and comicers and community on Comic Fury in general. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I hope y'all enjoyed the tour. I've got another video in the pipeline. I've got a sketchbook tour coming up, and then I'm hoping that I have either for early next year or maybe either January or February. I want to get this train video out, but I got a couple other things kind of in the pipeline. I'm very lazily working on like this cheap thrills video, doing traditional art on the cheap. And if I can find like some free stuff, that's for digital folks, I will. But I don't feel like getting it from me is good, because I'm not I'm only like slightly a digital artist. I'm mostly like a traditional artist, so I feel like that information should come from people who are more experienced than me, if that makes sense. But still, I'll see what I can find. That's all in the far future. I have no idea. Well, let's focus on the sketchbook tour. Sketchbook tour, next video. Train video coming out sometime. Train vlog. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You'll know whenever I get there. Yeah. Okay, that's all I've got to say. Thank you all for watching. Check out Comic Fury Zine and then check out folks over on Comic Fury. There's a lot of good stuff over there being made and shared for free. For free. Oh man. At that party last night, somebody brought cranberry lime seltzers. Oh my god, this thing is so fucking good. Alright, I gotta go get my tire fixed because I got screwed. I ran over a screw. Did I say that at the beginning of this recording? I don't know. This is my second time recording it, so I don't remember what I do and don't say, but I got a busy day. Oh my god, I got so much to do. I'll see y'all later. Peace and love. Very well. And keep on trucking. Oh my gosh, this... Hi, Phyllis.